Hello Pisces and Pisces rising. This is your March 2016 general forecast. We have a lot packed in here. This is KK, Kimberly Knox, your astrologer, and we're going to just hit it out because this solar eclipse is in your sign of Pisces. Happy birthday to all the Pisces. I hope your birthdays have been going tremendous. We're going to finish out and round out this time of Pisces. It's a beautiful time to sit back and look at all the things that you've accomplished this year and really be able to refocus on your vision of what you want in your life, your vision of where you would like to go, and really just be grateful for all the amazing things you've accomplished during this time. But these eclipses are going to be affecting you personally. The solar eclipse on the 8th, and then on the 23rd, the lunar eclipse. And where is that happening in your sector, and what does that mean? We have a vernal equinox as well, and that's the time of the start of the astrological new year and the time of Aries, when we're forging through with new intentions for the entire year, and that's the sign of Aries. So we always like to start with, where has Saturn been affecting you? Because we all feel Saturn. Saturn has been at the top of your chart for now, for just about a year, so you've been feeling it up there, and this is a time of real recognition, a time of really putting your big boots on and getting out there in the career world and showing them what you have and really showing up in a real responsible way, and that's how they see you out in the outer world. That is your reputation right now. Mars is going to get there and give you a supercharged boost. Mars has been in your house, the 9th house, adding to your travel, long distance work with foreigners, or international work overseas, possibly learning new skills, going back to school, learning something new, getting another certificate, or finishing your MBA, or whatever that is, going forward so that it will benefit your 10th house of career and your reputation in beneficial ways. And that is Saturn. We all have to attend to the needs of Saturn because that's what we're being asked to do. Saturn is going to go retrograde at the end of the month, so it's going to take the pedal off, and we can kind of digest all of those things that we've learned. At that time, Mars is going to be going retrograde, so we have things to do here. And Mars is not done with your 9th house. Don't worry. It's going to retrograde back, and it will give you back into Sagittarius on August the 2nd. So the eclipse, the new moon, will be in your 1st house in the sign of Pisces, and this is all about you. This is about you being the best you can be personally, how you dress, how you appear. This is new beginnings in this area. So perhaps you've been out there, you've been garnishing this great career reputation and getting back out there, and now it's really time to put yourself together in new ways, and maybe you've been learning new things, and now that's going to enhance your personal attributes and how you're seen by other people, because anything that you do to enhance yourself definitely enhances all of your relationships. It's an axis. It's like your 1st and 7th house. Anything you do on yourself then affects and improves your relationships on the other side. And you've been having brilliant opportunity with your 7th house because the eclipses have been in, and the nodal axis, of course, that's where the eclipses run. But this is the axis of the yellow brick road, where we must go. And the north node is in your 7th house. You must go toward relationships and partnerships and dealing with the public and dealing with new clients. Get out there. And so the eclipse in last September unfolded through the fall. You've really made some big strides, and during the time of January we kind of restructured. We looked at what we needed to do to get our plan together. It met up with Pluto, which is really strong up there in your 11th house of your friendships, powerful associations and networking groups that can lend you a hand, because it's there's a really nice trine here between both Jupiter and Pluto, bringing you opportunity in that way, just a really nice flow, feeding you good energy. So now that we've got this Mercury kind of restructured and we kind of understand what we had to do to get resettled the time of Pisces, we regather our vision, we regather what we want to put together, utilizing our intuition, walking into the unknown, getting set up so we can go forward in new ways. And that eclipse happens on March the 8th in your first house. And so we said that Mars also moving into, on March the 5th, Mars moving into your 10th house of career, and it's not going to be done there because it's Mars is going to retrograde back on August the 2nd. It'll be back, but it's got a lot to do in this area, getting you prepared. Mercury also on March the 5th goes into your sign, Pisces, comes into the first house. So now, whatever you've been doing behind the scenes, getting prepared, that was a lot of what last month was about. You're bringing that out this month. You're talking about what I would like to do, and you're more vocal about that. March, leading up to the eclipse, 6th and the 7th, is a very fruitful time as well. On the 7th, you've got the moon with Venus for the last time before Venus goes below the horizon. So doing something fun with friends around this weekend would be good. The sun and Pluto, sun is making really great, these are business kind of aspects. Sun is meeting up with Saturn and Pluto around this time to bring you some opportunity. So whatever connections you're making will be great. March the 12th, Venus goes into your first house. So this is you. This is a time when you radiate. You radiate with beauty, you radiate with charm, and you can utilize this, repackage yourself in a new way. This is a brilliant time to do that. And it'll bring you all sorts of goodies in that respect. The first quarter is very dynamic, and it's dynamic because we're leading up to Jupiter trining Pluto. I just talked about that aspect over here. We also have Venus and Mars in a first quarter square. They came together in your 7th house in November for the 3rd time. They came together. First it was in Leo, and then in Virgo. And this first quarter is now, we're taking a step out. We're taking a step out toward what we want to do and what we want to bring forward. And we'll see the results of all this work that Mars has been kind of getting what we want, and we make some adjustments. First quarter is the time when we take a step out of what we initiate, what your initiation, what you wanted to bring forth and manifest for your own personal goals. You'll see some ability to do that. And Mercury is strong at this time, really helping us to put together a plan. 14th and 15th and 16th, brilliant times. The vernal equinox comes on the 20th. Whenever the sun changes and goes into 0 degrees of Aries, there's a whole flash of energy. And it's a world point, so things happen in the world as well. Venus and Neptune come together in your first house. It's a beautiful romantic time. My goodness, get out there, have fun with your partner. Do something wonderful for yourself, and really reward yourself in great ways. And work on a dream board, because that's important too, to really visualize, help you to get into that. Then we have the 23rd. Big days as well, because lots of things are happening, not just the lunar eclipse in Libra, but we also have Jupiter, the business planets of expansion and restriction. These are 2 business planets. They're opposite, but they work together in that way. Jupiter expands, Saturn constricts. They're in the last quarter square, and they're asking for achievement and adjustments that way. Whatever we planted, this is a big cycle that's unfolding from May of 2000 in the sign of Taurus. So whatever you were putting forth, Taurus was in your 3rd house. So things that you were putting forth in learning new skills and speaking and getting out there in your community. Maybe you were writing a book at that, or thoughts about writing a book, or whatever you were doing. Things are unfolding now, and Saturn being up in your 10th house is bringing you a lot of fame right now, because if you've got the work ethic, you can really bring this forward, and this is terrific. So the lunar eclipse unfolds. The lunar eclipse is happening in your 8th house, and this is the house of joint financial concerns. It has to do with all your loans, money from other, your loans, grants. If you're getting funding, if you want to get funding for an entrepreneurial product, you're putting it out there in that regard. And this has to do with your partner's money as well. So whatever was growing now comes to a head in this area. So we have some results showing up in your 8th house. If you had some issues with taxes or taxation, this is coming to a head. Your mortgage, maybe you were being reconsidered for restructuring, whatever it was, or you're looking for a mortgage, that's coming to a head now. So it can be laid out in a lot of different ways. You're applying for student loans for something. It comes out in many different ways because each of the sectors, these houses, relate to many different things, and it can show up in different ways. But the 24th and 25th, you're going to still have this energy of the lunar eclipse. Mercury is very strong and Venus is strong at that time to really get us going forward with what we want and the plan to go get that. Venus is all about relationships though too, and money. So there's this time right here to put some seriousness around that, about what you're creating in that regard. And at the end of the month, 29th, 30th, and 31st, Mercury is performing just beautiful aspects of opportunity and flow with the outer planets, Saturn, Pluto, and Uranus. It ends the month with Mercury joining Uranus. And in your 2nd house, there could be some news of some money coming your way. So, dear Pisces, have a wonderful month of March, and I'm grateful for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel and any comments you make, and reach out to me on Instagram for daily in the flow inspirations and messages on what's happening on a daily basis.